Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about PHP Linting. Today, we are going to cover the following topics. We will talk about what is PHP Linting and why it exists. Secondly, we will talk about core PHP Linting command. After that, we will talk about what PHP Linting detects and what it does not detect. Then we will see some live demos. After that, we will talk about how linting works in professional workflows. Okay, so let's start with what is PHP linting and why it exists. So basically, PHP linting is a syntax validation process performed by the PHP interpreter without executing the code. It checks whether PHP can successfully tokenize or parse a file or not. Actually, internally, what happens in PHP is whenever we run any file, PHP performs two major steps before executing the file. First of all, it does lexical analysis. That means it tokenizes the code. Okay. After that, it parses the code. It means it creates a syntax tree there. Okay. Linting stops immediately after these two steps. This is why linting is fast, safe, and deterministic. No function run, no database connect, and no side effects. Now we need to understand why we needed PHP linting. So basically what happens in PHP is interpreted at runtime. Okay. So if there is any syntax error in the code, then PHP crashes. Okay. So in production environment, if any syntax error is there, so what will happen is we will see either white screen of death, or there will be parse errors which will be visible to the users, or like broken deployments that require emergency fixes also, right? So linting moves this failure from runtime to deployment time. That means this shift dramatically reduces the risk and stress. Like we don't need to worry about the syntax errors. So PHP has its own built-in linter. Okay. So if you want to lint any of the PHP file, what you do is you open your terminal and there you write PHP -l, then you write your file name dot php. So this is the command that we write to check for any of the file for linting. Okay. So when you write PHP, so what it does is it invokes your default PHP interpreter. Okay. That the second part of this command is -l. So -l is it enables the linting mode of your interpreter. Okay, then this is your file path. Okay, so if like suppose your file is any of the folders, then you write folder name and then your file name. It will be like this only. Okay, now if there is no error, no syntax error in your file, suppose. Okay, so if there is no error, that means you will see no syntax error detected. Okay. Okay. Now, if there is any error, okay, so what will happen is if there is an error in the code, then you will see that error on your screen like this. Like suppose if there is a parse error, okay, so what will happen is if parse error and then colon and then you will have syntax error. Okay, and whatever the error is, wherever like unexpected token, uh, or like whatever the details are there, like in which file it is in, like obviously the file name you have already given, but on which line the error is exactly, it will give you that in this case. Now we will talk about what it covers. Okay, we will understand what PHP linting detects and what it does not detect. Okay, so what it detect is, first of all, like whatever the, like if there is any syntax label, because it does not execute the code, right? So it only checks your syntax. So what it checks is like if there is any missing semicolon, right? Semicolons are there. Suppose another is like unclosed bracket is there, right? Then, or any parenthesis is open, like, or any like invalid function is called, right? Invalid function or class name is called, or it will check like if your PHP tags are not properly closed, like if any open or are not closed properly, right? Or it can be something like your broken screen, your broken string codes can happen, like, right? Then next is it can also like if there is something like unexpected token can also be there, right? So this type of syntax related error it covers. What it does not involve, like what it does not trace is something like, first of all, because it is not executing, we need to remember that it is not executing our code, right? So what will happen is it will not check for any logical bugs because it is not executing our code, right? Second is any if there is any undefined variable, right? Because all these bugs we see when we execute the code, but all the things like syntax is there, so syntax can be checked on like without executing the code also. Okay, so we need to remember this. Like all the things that we see after execution, that will not be that will not be detected by linting. Like for example, we have said logical bugs like undefined variable, or if there is any type mismatch is there, right? Then there will be any security variable, security issues are there, those will not be included in this, right? Then if there is any performance related, right? So all these comes when we execute the code, right? So this is why all the things it is covering are related to syntax only, okay? And all the things that comes after execution of the code, it will not show.